So user testing is when you take the product you've designed, whether it's the basic wireframe form or the actual finished design, and you put it in front of a user, prototyped. And what you do is you ask them pointed questions, but you don't guide them through it, and kind of let them discover it on their own. And this is the part of design where you figure out if it actually works or not.
User interviews are a chance to speak to actual customers who are going to be using your end product and get early feedback in the design process. And they're important because what you learn might surprise you. You definitely want to make sure that you're headed in the right direction early on to make sure you can deliver the best product as soon as possible.
User interviews they usually come right after we spend some time with the stakeholder of the project. So we'll get out there and we'll engage one-on-one with whoever the future users are going to be, and spend some time with them and learn from them as to what's important within the project. It gives us an opportunity to bounce some ideas off them, get a feel for what the current problem is that we're trying to solve, and it really does kind of shape the rest of the solution. So it's an opportunity for us to engage with the future user and learn from them and ensure that whatever it is that we're building is going to hit the mark.
People are mysterious. It's really hard to know a person like 100%. And oftentimes, like if you're very close with a client, they might hesitate to tell you about a problem they're having. If they don't do that, then you can't figure out how to improve it for them. Since Slingshot is a third party, people are typically much more comfortable sharing their problems with us than they are with you. That way we can kind of discover what actually needs to get done, and you can kind of tackle that before a product goes live, and then you have to, start over from development and field customer reviews and things like that.
User interviews are always going to be important. You may not have considered a subset of users that you didn't account for, and you always want to get their feedback because what you learn might surprise you.
Yeah, honestly though, those people that's usually somewhat of a red flag for us. I view the user interviews as a very critical part of our process. It's a way for us to engage as a third party with the future users, and a lot of times by doing that we're able to learn things that maybe those stakeholders or the person with the idea that they are not able to do. So I think a lot of times what we'll do in that case is try to spend some time with that person and just do a better job of describing the overall importance of the user interviews. I think a lot of times in situations like that, they don't fully understand what it is that we're trying to do and the overall importance of it.
Sometimes users miss things that you, as a designer, kind of expect them to get. Most recently, actually, with a home warranty project we're doing, we put the product in front of a user. First thing they did was we asked them to schedule a fridge repair. And instead of going to the big fridge repair button, they instead went to the coverage section and tried to check and see if their coverage covered what they were trying to get repaired. And 3 out of 4 people did that, and it really surprised us because the button was very large while the coverage section was quite small.
So the most surprising thing I've ever learned from user interviews is that your end customers might interpret your design or development choices completely different than you intended them. Finding that out during the interview process is really important towards designing an experience that will be intuitive and friendly for the users.